In 1924, an Okinawan by the name of Kanbun Uechi left for Japan and began teaching a small school of students. Later in 1927, Kanbun's oldest son, Kanai, joined his father. They formed Uechi Ryu, and in the mid-1960s, Uechi Ryu began to spread across the globe. Later, an American by the name of George Mattson would become the first American to be promoted to first-degree black belt in Uechi Ryu. He began teaching at the YMCA in Boston in the late 1950s. A Canadian Mi'kmaq by the name of Jim Maloney began training under Sensei Mattson in his dojo in 1963 and later brought Uechi Ryu to Canada in the 1970s. Some 50 years later, Sensei Maloney is still sharing his knowledge to his students in Dartmouth. This is Uechi Ryu Karate.
I was born in Indian Brook, Shubenacadie, 1945 after the war. We had no running water, no electricity. My mom died when I was young. I have very little memories of her. We were working for the man, picking freaking blueberries, raking blueberries and picking potatoes in Maine. We had a really rough year. There was no money. And I told my father over the fire that night, I said, Dad, I can't go back to school. And I told him I'm going to Boston. I reached in my pocket, I gave everything I had. And well, I think about $35. And I said, now can I see the class? He sort of sighed a little bit. He said, yeah, he said, you can watch from the door. So he opened the door for about 15, 20 seconds, and the stench and the smell and the sweat that came out of that door was like, it was like, oh my God. But they were all sweaty in there, and they had no tops on, you know, and they were working, and then he closed the door. I guess after 4 or 5 months, they started getting pretty impressed with my abilities and moved me into an intermediate class. And then after a year, they moved me into an advanced class. I was the first Canadian to get the black belt in Uechi Ryu Karate.
Joining me now is Sensei Lloyd Fisher of Dartmouth Uechi Ryu, 8th dan in the system. When did it begin for you?
Well, actually, it was 1981. I saw a demonstration, but physically myself got back into it in 1987.
So it's been 34 years you've been training.
A long time.
A rewarding journey, no doubt?
Still is a rewarding journey.
When did you first meet Sensei Jim Maloney?
I saw Sensei at a demonstration probably in 79, 80, and I was intrigued by that, everything that they did, the body, what they could do in their body within the system that they were working with, and it was hooked.
Some of the bigger, Uechi Ryu is a world-renowned karate system, well-respected and received. Yourself, you're a big contributor. How much does it mean to you to be a part of this?
It became a lifestyle. It means everything to me. It's like a family here with everybody within the Uechi system. Everybody, learns from everybody, and it's just one big happy family.
What is some of the favorite techniques of Uechi Ryu that bring the power and essence to you?
Definitely the breathing and the power that you can establish from the breathing, the focus, your mindset, just general.
You performed a kata earlier. What are some of the favorite aspects of that kata for you?
I think the first one was Sensei. It's the last kata of our system. It represents 36 movements of defense and attack. So it's a quite an intriguing, complex series of movements. Every aspect, every movement has its purpose, and just all of them actually. I like all the movements. They're just a great kata to perform. I love it. It's something that becomes a lifestyle if you so choose to make it a lifestyle. For me personally, it has been that. It creates, your mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. And for me, anybody that wants to get involved with any martial art, I highly recommend it. Everybody has different reasonings for doing it, but you'll find that along the path.
Hey!
The Okinawans are very humble people. They're very respectful, humble people. If you bumped into them, they'd say, "Excuse me." They're beautiful, beautiful people. So Sensei studied with them and eventually came back to the United States in '58 and he was charged by the Master Kanai Uechi to spread Uechi Ryu in America.
And it did.
And he did. He wrote a book and he did. And of course, me being one of his students, eventually went to Okinawa to train with the Uechi family. And I'm still friends with the Uechi family to this day.
Yes.
I mean, the ones that are there now are Kanai Uechi's grandchildren. They're younger than me. Kanai Uechi, every day after class, he would ask me to teach sparring in his dojo.
Kumite.
Yeah. And then he would go upstairs and make us dinner. Right? So I'd go up after class, they'd send down for me, and I'd go up and he'd be cooking on a hibachi there and making me dinner and stuff like that. So he gave me a gi, special gi, embroidered gi, karate uniform. And over a period of time between him coming to the States and me going over there back and forth, he gave me 3 karate gis, but the third one was after he had passed on. And he had passed while I was working in the Yukon doing an investigation up there on a police shooting. So I couldn't leave to go to Okinawa for the funeral. But I saw his son in Boston, and I went over to give him my condolences. He said, "Yeah, thank you." He said, "But before my father passed, he got you something."
Incredible. Really speaks to the man's generosity.
Gave me another another gi from Kanai Uechi.
You were like a son to him.
Yes, and it's really, really amazing.
My club is Clareland Uechi Ryu Karate Club. I'm just outside my home bay, and I run a club in my basement of my house. Okay, and this is one of my students.
I'm Amy Bennett. I've been training for 7.5 years.
How old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
So you're
I'm a first degree.
What's about Uechi Ryu that keeps you coming back? What drew you to it?
Probably the physical activity part of it and just the style in general. It's a good stress reliever too. So
Do you find that Uechi Ryu and karate empowers you? Is it giving you what you're looking for to strengthen your life?
Yes, it has. Definitely has.
Made a positive impact?
It definitely has.
Excellent. Sensei Lloyd, you've been training now for how many years?
I've been training since 1990, going on 31 years now. I'll be going to my 31st year.
Fantastic. What got you started? Where did you discover it, and how did that come together?
I started in a club in Western Shore, just a Western Shore Gold River Karate Club. I just went with a friend of mine and started working out and got hooked, got in my blood, and I couldn't give it up. Yeah, I love that it relieves the stress when I come home from a hard day work. Plus, my work is physical, so I need that extra core strength to keep myself working, or I probably wouldn't be working in my field anymore. And I just love the people that's in it. I love everything about it. I love working out hard. I love sweating. I like the camaraderie. And I just like every style in general, because I like competing. I like going to seminars. Any style, doesn't matter.
Speaking of styles, what is it about Uechi Ryu that really touches base for you? Every karate style connects differently. What's it with Uechi for you?
The conditioning. I like it hard and I like it rough. I really like the pounding, the smashing, the banging. To me, it trains you to take a blow and not just give blows. So if someone hits you hard, you can come back from it and then attack again.
Full circle.
Full circle, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of Uechi Ryu?
Probably the kata's sparring and conditioning. I can't choose between those two, those three, sorry, because those are basically my favorite parts of it all. It's all a lot of fun, and it's very calming in a way. Good stress reliever too, so.
You're from Western Shore. It's an hour drive to Dartmouth here. What brings you here to train?
What brings me here is Sensei Jim Maloney and Sensei Clayton Hickey, fantastic instructors. It's not just the class time, it's actually outside of dojo time too. Fabulous people to be around, treat you like family, and like I said, they're willing to show you everything. They don't hide anything from you. They try to make you better than them, not the same or below them.
You can't beat that. Bringing out the better in you.
Bringing out the better in you, yes.
How many students do you have, Sensei?
I have around right now about 14 students. I do not charge tuition. My group comes whenever they want. I only ask of them. I teach 3 nights a week, 2 hours of class, 3 times a week, and I just tell them they have to come to 2 classes a week, or else I can't take them as a student.
Excellent. So you ask a little commitment, and it's better than the money.
It's better than the money. They make me want to work out. That's what I get out of it.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, and like I said, she's been with me since she started, and I have since she was 7, and I have all my students basically keep on coming back to me. And another thing I like about it too is over the years I probably went through 800-900 students since I started teaching. I started teaching in '94, and just to keeping up with them in their lives, how they've grown. Because that's what I like about a student, watching them grow.
It's not just the training.
No.
It's the camaraderie. It's what you bring to your life.
Yes. Yeah, it's watching them grow as a person and mature, become a better person, and I try to reflect a little bit of me into them by telling them like my philosophy on life and how I feel, and hopefully they'll take that through their life too. And that way I feel that they makes them a better person too, right?
Excellent. So it's a giving circle.
It is. I get more out of it, believe me, than what I give.
Joining me now is Sensei Dwight Naugle of Eastern Shore Uechi Ryu. Welcome to our program, Sensei.
Thank you, sir.
Sensei Naugle, I'm going to start direct. The symbol of Uechi Ryu is on your gi. It is a very powerful symbol. Can you describe what we're seeing?
This is the three modes or three conflicts, mind, body, and spirit. This particular crest I had since way back in the day when I was on the competition team as a young man.
You're still a young man. Don't knock you.
That's correct.
Yes. How many years did you compete?
In the early years, we competed, I guess 7 or 8 years full contact. I started it as a young man because I was being kind of bullied in school and in the community. And I just happened to run across the demonstration one day that Sensei was putting on. And when I saw it, I was just stopping in my tracks, and I thought, wow, those bullies aren't tough. These guys are tough. And I followed him. I tracked down his dojo and followed him and started training. And 40-some years later, I'm still here. So
Fantastic. That was the first time you met Sensei Maloney. Was at a demonstration, and that was it.
I just coincidentally walked up on him and saw it, and I was just floored what I saw. So I still can't get enough of it. So
Fantastic. Karate, the martial arts, many people today are turning to it. It's gone from a health answer to now physical life. We're going back to reality, wouldn't you say?
yeah, which is the way it started. It started that way. It was developed for a reason. It kind of got into the sporty end of it, and now you can see it coming back because of the way the world is. So
That's right. The world has changed.
that's it.
But karate hasn't changed. It still maintains its purpose.
Uechi's stayed the same since way back in the day. So I plan on keeping it that way.
Uechi Ryu is a powerful style. It has such powers and directiveness. It's an aggressive style in many ways. But what is it that really draws you to it?
Well, what draws me to it now is not what it was when I started. I wanted to be a bad guy, but I like the style because it's there's nothing soft about it. I mean, it's supposed to be half hard, half soft, but it's a realistic type of fighting. Never use any pads or anything like that. Do a lot of body conditioning, and that just appeals to me.
Over the years, you've seen a lot of changes in the martial arts. How true has Uechi Ryu stayed to itself?
I keep it as true as I can. The way I teach it is the way I was taught as a young boy from Sensei Maloney. I won't deviate from that. I don't know what other people do, but this is the way I like to keep it, the way it was taught to me, because I know it's effective and I know it's real.
Over the years, you've had many students. What's some of the highlights you've experienced personally?
Some of the guys I trained with when I was younger, and some of the guys I looked up to many years later, to see them and to be on par with them rank-wise. And I remember when I first walked through the door, I would see them and just be in awe of them. And to train with them now on the same level is quite an accomplishment for me.
I'm sorry, your belt rank is?
9th degree.
Your 9th dan. Very impressive.
Yeah, we get 1 gold bar at 6th degree, and then it goes up 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are no really quick ranks in Uechi Ryu. For a 10th degree, minimum age is 70, so you can't be in a hurry, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. What is, as a martial artist, what is your favorite kata of Uechi Ryu?
I like the first kata, Sanchin. When I came to understand it, I see the value of it now. In the beginning, I didn't because I wanted to kick the ceiling and do all the cool stuff. But it's all based around Sanchin. I like the first kata, Sanchin, and I like the last kata, Sensei Ryu.
As you just stated, Sensei, your kata favorite one is Sensei Ryu. We caught you doing that earlier. Some of the highlights of that kata for you are?
Just the power and the violence it puts off, and the realism of the moves.
It's very, very powerful in its
Very
expression.
powerful. It is, yeah. And there's a lot of deadly moves in it that are hidden or disguised, which is what is meant to be in kata.
That's right. Kata is really the source of karate. No matter the style, really, the kata is the hidden essence of it. And that's where you find your bunkai and your other kumite aspects, correct?
Absolutely. In the beginning, you may not think that, but as you get further advanced in the ranks and you realize that you're developing a power from the kata, and when you realize where that came from, then all of a sudden it's, oh, okay, I see what I was doing in the beginning years. So,
Kata, like the karateka, they both evolve. So which teaches more? The kata teaches the student, correct?
yeah, in my case it did for sure. Yeah.
So it's an evolution. Once you learn it, there's the surface layer, and then as you progress, you get into the deeper layers of it.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll ever get to the end of it. I'm just getting in through the door now and seeing cool stuff that I never realized 45 years ago.
Fantastic.
So in another 45 years, I should be close to understanding it fully.
Outstanding. This is really the essence of Uechi Ryu.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent. A pleasure to meet you, Sensei. We thank you for your input. Sensei, you've been training for many years. Where did it begin, and how did you meet Sensei Jim Maloney?
Actually, I got into it at about the age of 17 years old, and then I met Sensei Maloney down on Roby Street, and then moved from Roby to Granville, and wherever he went, I went, basically. And I opened my own dojo for a while, and it's been a lot of fun experiences. I've traveled to Boston, I've been to Okinawa, and it's a way of life right now for me. I need it. I need to be here. I need the workout. It makes me feel good, keeps me young. I mean, I'm 62 years old, so.
You don't look it, so something's working.
Excuse me. Well, I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel 62, but
You were talking about your travels, Boston,
yeah.
Okinawa. What is it like for a Westerner, a Canadian, to go to Okinawa, the birthplace, the home of all this, and train amongst the masters? What's that type of experience like for those that may wish to journey that far one day in life?
It was a great experience. I mean, they're such kind people. I've probably never met people as hard as what they are, well conditioned. I mean, back when I was younger, I figured I had good conditioning, but you can be humbled quite a bit by going over there and seeing what these people go through. Their conditioning is unbelievable.
Let's refer to the conditioning. We see a whole generation of fitness today, but we don't see the hardcore steel making of a man that Uechi Ryu does. Is that correct?
Most people don't want to do that. They don't want to get bruised up, and they don't want to go in short sleeve shirts and have somebody ask them why they got bruises all over their arms or bruises all over their legs. So, it's a different way of life right now, and we've, kids, children, adults are raised a little differently probably back when I started at 16 years old, and I enjoyed it. It was somewhat of a tough upbringing. Sensei Maloney was a very, very hard instructor. He taught us to be hard, and myself and Dwight are probably two of the people that have never changed. We've stayed to tradition. I mean, you can go to Okinawa and I can do my katas in front of Master Uechi and they look like the Okinawans. I really like that there's no change. That to me that's my heart.
Has it brought out the steel in you as a man?
Oh God, yes, in more ways than not. Yeah, some people tell me I'm a little hard and I don't know when to settle down. I have to be careful here in class, so sometimes I can get myself carried away. But I enjoy it. Even at my age, I enjoy it. I enjoy being here. I like letting them throw me around, and it's good for them. It's good for me.
Would you encourage people of any age to get into Uechi Ryu?
By all means. I think if you're going to try to learn a defense, and I believe any martial arts is good, and it's as good as the person who's teaching it to, your student. But Uechi is a little bit different. It's got a lot of conditioning. We stress conditioning a lot, and I believe, it toughens you up so that when you do get hit, that, you know, you look at them and say, well, that wasn't much, you know, and you know, it gets to be fun. It's almost a game after a while.
We evolve so often and change so often as we understand our art, as we get better and better. It'd be like asking a musician to write a book about the first tune they played, right? So I'm not ready to write a book. I'm not finished yet.
Join us next week for the incredible true-to-life story of Sensei Jim Maloney.